It's been a long night for all of us. Is Pete Snyder. Pete's entrepreneur, ran the 30-day fund, which is the VA 30-day fund, which has helped out so many small businesses across the Commonwealth of Virginia. And Pete is with us now. Pete, thanks for calling in today, Pete.
Hey, Johnny, wouldn't want to start my day any other way. It's a gorgeous morning here in Charlottesville, Virginia. We got a brand new congressman in Bob Good. Everyone said that he couldn't win. He was outspent, I don't know, 2-1, 3-1 by the liberals. And he came through in excellent fashion. So we're looking good on Virginia's 5th. But hats off to you, John Fredericks. Think about all the lies that have been told, all the countless hours on the airwaves telling you how stupid you are and how the president would be repudiated all across the Commonwealth, that we didn't have a chance. All the political pundits and the media that just lied and lied and lied. And you're the only one who believed, John. And God bless. While the president's not going to eke out Virginia, it's a hell of a lot closer and a much, much different picture that was professionally painted by the mainstream media and the liars out there. God bless. It is criminal what has happened. Absolutely criminal.
When is there going to be an accounting? When is there a level of accountability for the fake polls, the fake news, the liars? I mean, we were told for months and months and months that this was going. We had Ben Tribbett on Monday saying that this was going to be a Mondale-esque blowout. It was going to be worse than McGovern. And look, I love Ben. He's a friend of mine, and so do you. But that was just one of many. These left-wing pundits, they were so wrong on everything. Washington Post all the way down. When are they held accountable?
But, it needs to start today, John. And what they do is they try to pin it all on Donald Trump. Oh, Donald Trump stretches the truth. He does this and does that. All these folks, they lie about the origins of this virus. They lie about the ramifications from it on your health and on the economy. They lie about President Trump's policies. They lie about what is going to happen. I mean, there is a reason why Americans do not trust institutions. They don't trust Wall Street. They don't trust the Beltway and the pundits in Washington. They don't trust the media. And they're hungry for someone to shoot straight with them. That's why Donald Trump did so damn well across the country. Why he did so well with Latino population, with minorities. These people have been lying, saying that Republicans are racist and saying that there's no hope for growth of the Republican Party or conservative principles. In fact, there's tons of room for growth. It's called broadening your appeal. It's called reaching out to minorities and showing folks that you don't allow rioting in your cities, that you want to reopen your businesses and be safe doing so. That's the path forward. And I got to tell you, it's just, you have been telling the truth from day one. And God bless you for doing it. Millions of dollars were averted from helping you in Virginia because these clowns said that it was a lost cause. It was a very winnable race. Imagine what would have happened if you had $40 million dumped into Virginia, John.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think we got a total of $3.2 million, which I spent all on literature and science, or maybe 3.5, something like that.
Well, it had a heck of an impact in your backyard.
Well, we had we had 12 paid staff, and just to give you a juxtaposition, Florida had 250, Pennsylvania had 195. We had 12. So I got to tell you, per capita and per dollar, we got the best results for Trump anywhere in America. If you wanted to divide it out by the number of paid people and money we had. And look, the highlight of Virginia was when CNN had to call back their 701 calling of Virginia. They had to walk it back. So that was pretty funny. But look, Pete, I want to talk about Virginia. But first, I want to give an update on the Nick Freitas race. I just talked to Nick when they were at the top of the hour break. Here's exactly where we are. Nick has a 272 vote lead over Abigail Spanberger. He's got 199,786 to Spanberger's 199,513. So he's got a 287 vote lead. Everything has come in now. Everything has been counted in the 7th district, Pete, except for absentee ballots in Spotsylvania. So that is the last precinct to come in. and Nick says it's 50-50. I mean, they think, Spotsylvania not exactly Spanberger country, but early voting, tends to
Sure,
favor her.
sure. Well, I got to tell you, Nick has run such an incredible race.
He
Wonderful
really has.
guy, right on the issues, right on the Constitution, and he is. Yeah, I think he's going to win. I think he's going to pull this off, and he's going to be a force of nature up there in Washington for his district and for the entire Commonwealth. Amazing race.
We continue to lose Chesterfield County. Spanberger won that by 15,000 votes. I mean, there was a time where we used to win Chesterfield by 20,000. Now that seems to be gone. Frida's winning Culpeper.
Let's talk about that for a second, Johnny. What kind of I know Nick. A person I supported Nick, and I know a lot of folks in Virginia and all around the country supported Nick. He had a lot of money poured into the district. He had a ton of money poured against him. But what other help was brought in there, right? I mean,
Nothing.
again, if Virginia used to be a battleground state, the smart guys and the pundits and the pollsters and the liars in the media have convinced folks that it is no longer competitive. It's simply not true. Imagine if there were 20, 40, 60, $80 million poured into Virginia, what would have happened?
We would have had a much different result, right? I mean, we got no help. Even Freitas got outspent. I mean, Spanberger outspent him like something like 8-1, right? The level of these getting up. Freitas won almost every other county except those. He got beaten in Henrico and Chesterfield. One Louisa, one Goochland, one Nottoway, etc. Was able to win those. I think he wins. In the second district, not so much. It's very disappointing results for Scott Taylor there. Pete, I thought Scott had the lead for the majority of the night. Norfolk just came in huge. Norfolk and Williamsburg came in very, very big for Loria, and that seems to have put her over the top there.
Well, that's a shame. Scott served his country well in the armed forces. He's a Navy SEAL. He served well in Congress. I would have loved to have had him back there. Burson and I helped him out a whole lot and consider him a friend. And hopefully that there's a future for Scott. We need him. He's a fighter, but disappointing results in the second.
He's behind right now with 15,000. There's really no math for him to make that up. What was surprising to me, though, is he lost James City County to Loria by 1,200 votes, and everybody was telling me that he was overperforming there, but he lost James City County. She won Norfolk City by 3,000. She won Northampton by 1,000. But what put her over the top is, once again, she carried Virginia Beach, which was interesting, Pete, because we saw splitting of votes yesterday that we haven't seen in a lot of other instances, where it went Trump and then Dyer and Loria. So, Bobby Dyer won a big victory in Virginia Beach. I mean, he's basically the Republican candidate there, but Loria carried Virginia Beach by 12,000. That basically put her over the top. She also won Williamsburg by 3,000. So you add those two in, and even in York County, where Scott Taylor was supposed to overperform there, all the early numbers we saw, he only won by 2,000. So Loria gets reelected in the second district.
Well, it wasn't helpful that the NRCC cut and run on Scott in the closing weeks of the campaigns. They reallocated money elsewhere. That wasn't to his benefit at all. And again, it was, your neck of the woods and Tidewater tends to flip flop. I think it will continue to flip flop. And we're going to have to put a lot of effort in there and get the right candidates. But if there's one message coming out of last night, it's one: don't trust these liars in the punditry class and in the mainstream media. And two, Virginia is very much still alive, very viable for a two-party system, and there is going to be a reckoning for the overreach that the Democrats are doing right now.
How do you win Virginia? How do you turn the corner and make Virginia competitive in a non-presidential year?
Well, John, it's actually doing what you do every day, which is you believe and you talk about principles. and you talk about getting our economy going and doing it safely, and you talk about making sure that we don't allow this ridiculous violence in our cities. The fact that we were boarding up major metropolitan areas because we were worried that the other side wouldn't like the outcome or the result, it's complete and utter crap. And you believe, and you fight. Again, I go back to what I said before. All these people have lied and said that Virginia is not competitive whatsoever. The entire nation found out last night that, indeed, it is competitive. They were surprised on many levels. Imagine if you had the investment and the resources. I know you have the president's ear. He calls you no drama Johnny. But imagine if the clowns that had convinced folks not to invest in Virginia anymore actually put the pedal to the metal. What would have happened?
It would have been different. I mean, there's no question about it. I think you have to look at Virginia and say, if you're going to be competitive here, you've got to keep your foot on the gas. I mean, you got to be able to do that, because we proved, we can get a turnout in these rural areas. I mean, and now here's the good news. We have all the voting records, right? Like, we know who turned out, we know who voted, and now we have a much better opportunity of getting them out again. We didn't really have that after 2016. We didn't really have the data that we're going to have now, Pete.
Well, and also you got to compete and win. And in Northern Virginia, you got to compete. And the coalition that you put together is very much what the president did nationwide last night. You look at people who are small business owners, hardworking folks, people that work for a wage, and you talk about the economy, you talk about keeping them safe, you talk about making sure that our constitutional principles, things like the First Amendment and the Second Amendment that Virginia invented, aren't going to be stripped away. And you go out there and you hustle and you win. We have to compete in Northern Virginia. I think the results last night proved that there is a path to slim down the margin. I think Chesterfield is gettable. I think we can do even better in Tidewater area, your neck of the woods, and you run up the score elsewhere. But you have to do it in a non-BS way. Donald Trump is a once-in-a-generation talent. He was a celebrity before he ever got into politics. People know him. They take him, warts and all. And he's willing to get out there, roll up his sleeves, and get the job done. So, what we can't have is the same old crap. That's not going to run up the score in other parts of Virginia. We need truth tellers out there. We need people who can get results. And if we do all those things, yeah, we're going to win. And here's the funny thing is the other side's not going to learn a damn thing from last night. You know that, John, right? Mm-hmm. They're not going to take the same old overreach is going to happen in Richmond. The same old ridiculous policies, the same kowtowing to the left and the Antifa rioters out there. They're not going to learn a damn thing. And they're going to do that at their peril.
Nothing is going to change, Pete. I agree with you in that. I think that's pretty spot on because it's only going to get worse. As far as when I say worse, as the Democrats in Virginia, caucus of the corn, etc., they're only going to get more liberal, more radical, feel more emboldened, etc. Right?
Well, you know who's going to be sweating it tonight or this morning? Who's really sweating it?
Who?
Is Terry McAuliffe, who so desperately wants to grab back power in the governor's mansion. He is at a step where his party is. I'm sorry, this isn't the repudiation that he promised, and all the ridiculous things he said about the president and calling him a clown and all that kind of crap. He's got to be sweating it. He is at a step with the insanity in his own party, and he's been trying to hug it. He is in for a rude awakening if he tries to hop back in the arena.
Well, Pete, let me ask you this. The game day's over. I still think that you look at these numbers, Trump is going to win. Right? You've got now Bob Casey saying that Biden's going to win Pennsylvania. Trump's got a 700,000 vote lead.
Well, what else is Bob Casey going to say? Right?
I mean, what exactly? I mean, it's like it's like coming over the news like on a chai run, like Bob Casey says when all the votes are counted, Biden's going to win Pennsylvania. What the hell? Exactly. What is he going to say? Oh, we're gonna lose. I mean, they have to keep the narrative up, right? But we're going to win Michigan.
These people are. Think of the money that they wasted in South Carolina and Kansas, and the orgy of those Act Blue dollars that the liberals in Hollywood sent in, all completely evaporated, gone. I'm telling you, if there is not a reckoning on the left, they are in for trouble in the years ahead. And they won't learn a single damn lesson.
This just in, I don't know. Should we believe Bob Casey, or would you believe Joe Scarborough? What do you think?
I believe neither of them.
Joe Scarborough says Biden can't win Pennsylvania. There's no math to make up 700,000 votes. Of course he can't, right? You can't make 700,000 up. So Scarborough says, I would like to know, anybody is watching MSNBC, are they melting down now? And what happened to their Mondale-esque landslide? Are they melting down? I mean, or they're just scheming how to steal it now?
Why do you think they paused voting? I mean, seriously, when you're in trouble and you're losing a battleground state and you have all your henchmen in charge of the voting operation, why do you think they stopped voting, John?
They stopped counting the ballots.
You stop counting the ballots. Why? Because you got to get a plan and say, "Oh my gosh, we're going to lose this thing. We got to manufacture. We got to find these votes." That's what went on. in swing state after swing state. Surprise! Guess what? You don't like the results you're getting? We're just going to stop. We're going to pack it in for the night.
I mean, they just stopped counting.
Get on our conference calls, figure out what command and control.
Whoever heard of this? Where you just go home and so we'll count them tomorrow. You just go. Whoever heard of this? I mean, I remember in 1968 staying up with my father. That was Nixon Humphrey Wallace, and they called, I guess, whatever put Nixon over the top. I really don't remember what state it was, but I remember it was called at 7 a.m. Like we were eating breakfast. My father was up all night. He was a blue-collar worker. I got up. I was in the 5th grade or whatever. I got up to go to school, and I remember the black and white TV on it. They'd called Illinois or something for Nixon to put him over the top. They counted ballots all night. Now we just stopped counting at midnight. What the hell's that about?
It's because people got to go get on their conference calls. They got to get their marching orders. We got to manufacture or harvest these ballots somewhere that can prop up the lies that have been told for years, right?
Yeah. Well, Pete, now let me just ask you this. I mean, you've seen the results of Virginia. Game day is over. Where are you on your decision making and whether or not you're going to run for governor? Straight up.
Well, I'm looking at one person and one person only that I'm sweating, and that's Johnny Fredericks. I mean, I've been out in the grassroots. I've been working hard with Nick Freitas and Bob Good and helping out Scott Taylor and many others across the Commonwealth. And I hear a recurrent theme, and that's the John Fredericks boomlet out there.
It's
the soul
it's
truth
coming.
teller. I mean,
Godzilla
I'm telling you, hey, do I want to tangle with Godzilla? I don't know about that.
Well, we're doing a poll on the 10th, and if I'm over 15%, I'm getting in.
God bless you, Johnny. Keep telling the truth. Keep fighting, my friend.
It's me or Amanda, baby. John Fredericks Radio Network.